We are going to study about location and space relations. Part 2, chapter number 1. India, size and location. India is unique in its physical and diversity. Okay, we have a large variety of religions, races, languages, and creative architectural wonders. Equally diverse is the country's relief, climate, and vegetation. Let us learn about the geographical location and size of our country. Separated from the rest of Asia by the lofty Himalayan mountain range in the north, the Indian subcontinent touches three large water bodies, that is, Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, and the Indian Ocean to its south. India is often called a subcontinent because it is a distinct landmass, not just a country. A place is classed as a continent when it is part of a continent, but is considered either geographically or politically as an independent entity, or it is smaller than a continent. Here there is an important question. What is the difference between a continent and a subcontinent? Do you know the difference between a continent and a subcontinent? A continent is a large landmass whose borders are defined by oceans, whereas a subcontinent is a large, relatively a self-contained landmass formed as a subdivision of a continent. Kan soi to angkhan India ram hi north lama, Asia ram atangin Himalayan mountain in Minchen Shanga, south lama water bodies lian deu pathum, Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea le Indian Ocean te asibokani. India ram hi subcontinent te inan voa atsan chu, it has a distinct landmass, it has a distinct features. Okay, tang lambik yan phung tang lambik tiang ka anaya wang kanin subcontinent te inan voa subcontinent hi continent ayin ateshet ani. India comprises high mountains, fertile plains, deserts, plateaus, rivers, and oceans. It is diverse in terms of climate, wildlife, natural vegetation, and other resources. Okay. After a brief introduction of India, let us understand the location of India in the world map. The globe can be divided into the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. What is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere? Do you know the difference between northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere? The northern hemisphere refers to the half of the planet that is north of the equator, while the southern hemisphere is all of the planet south of the equator. Okay. Ne India ram omna chiang tur chuanin khovela world map atang khan India hi khoyange omti country chan sak photangai la kan soi angin globe kha northern hemisphere le southern hemisphere an chena northern hemisphere kan ti chuan equator north of the equator marlam zonga kha northern hemisphere ni a chuan equator chimlam zonga kha southern hemisphere kan wani chuan India ram hi northern hemisphere a kan oma chuan Tropic of Cancer hianin India ram hi alai taka atan changani. India is located in the northern hemisphere, and the globe is divided into eastern and western hemisphere. Okay, the Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of India. A globe has horizontal lines known as latitude and vertical lines known as longitude. These are imaginary lines used to locate any place on the map. Okay, tahan zona poimbo latitude le longitude enge ti kha zona khan omle the ta a latitude kan ti chuan globe a horizontal lines zonga kha latitude ani a vertical lines kha longitude ani chuan latitude le longitude te hi imaginary lines ani a map a mun place chin chian atang khanin an mang thin ani. So we can say that all countries lie between 2 latitudes and 2 longitudes. Okay. The latitudinal extent of the mainland is from Kanyakumari at 8 degrees 4 minutes north to Indira Col at 37 degrees 6 minutes north. This means that the southern tips of India lies on 8 degrees 4 minutes north away from the equator. Okay. Each degree is divided into 60 minutes. Each degree is divided into 60 minutes. Okay. So we say that India lies between 8 degrees 4 minutes north. Similarly, the northern tips of India lies on 37 degrees 6 minutes north. When it comes to longitudinal extent, it is from Dwarka in Gujarat at 68 degrees 7 minutes east to Arunachal Pradesh at 97 degrees 24 minutes east. The latitudinal and longitudinal extent of the mainland is about 30 degrees. Okay. Despite this fact, the east-west extent appears to be smaller than the north-south extent. Indiaram latitudinal extent hi Kanyakumari 8 degree 4 minutes north atangin Indira Col 37 degree 6 minutes north ani a longitudinal extent hi Dwarka Gujarat 68 degrees 7 minutes east atangin Arunachal Pradesh 97 degree 24 minutes east heng ao ani. To the southeast of the mainland lies the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and to the southwest of the mainland lies the Lakshadweep Islands in the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea respectively. Indira Col, which lies in ch-1 Glacier, is the northernmost point of India, and the southernmost point of the Indian Union is Indira Point, which lies in the Great Nicobar Islands. Okay. In terms of distance, the latitudinal extent of India from Kashmir in the north to Kanyakumari in the south is 3,214 km. India's longitudinal extent from the Rann of Kutch in the west to Arunachal Pradesh in the east is 2,933 km. Okay. Northernmost point of India Indira Col ni in ch-1 Glacier, Jammu and Kashmir State ami ni a chuan southernmost point of India hi Indira Point, Great Nicobar Islands, Andaman and Nicobar Islands ami ani. Indiaram zawzong hi a distance anga chu chuan latitudinal extent Kashmir atanga Kanyakumari in kar zawzong thuizong a hi 3,214 km ani a longitudinal extent thuizong Arunachal Pradesh atanga Rann of Kutch atanga Arunachal Pradesh in kar hi 2,933 km thui ani bokani. The Tropic of Cancer divides the country into two equal parts. The 82 degree 30 minutes east longitude is taken as the central meridian of the country. The Indian Standard Time is based on this longitude. Okay. Ma kansay to ang kanin Indiaram hi Tropic of Cancer han alay taka tantlang kanti to ka 82 degree 30 minutes east his central meridian ni in Indian Standard Time apo ka he longitude base te hi ani. The vast longitudinal extent of India results in a time difference of almost 2 hours between the eastern and western parts of our country. The Earth rotates once in 24 hours, and each degree of longitude takes 4 minutes to face the sun at each highest angle. Okay. Since there are approximately 30 degree longitudes between the eastern and western extent of India, The time difference is 30 into 40 equal to 120 minutes or 2 hours. So there is a difference in the local time. India ram longitudinal extent hi achaw mawangin eastern le western parts of India hianin time difference oba darkar ni in mo 2 hours in time difference kha oba ama kan soi to angkhanin latitude le longitudinal extent kha 30 degrees vel ani kan ti to kha darkar somti pali chungin khovel hi voi khat a in rotate china chuan degree tina khanin minute diesel ni hel nan khan amang chu chuanin eastern le western longitudinal extent chu 30 degrees alo ni bok chuanin 30 degree le khovelin degree khatzelan ni a hel nakonga a hun man zat minute li akakan puntir chuan minute za som ni alo chuakanga chu hour sakan le chuan darkar ni alo ni don ta ti na ni a chu tiang alo ni chuan entirna na gujarata jing daruk ani lain heta arunachal pradesh ate ka chuanin jing darli ka alo ni chau don ti na ni chu. The time for India is set according to the time at 82.5 degrees longitude. It is also called the standard time or the central meridian of India. Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh is located on this longitude. The world time is calculated according to the location of east or west of prime meridian. The time of this longitude is called the Greenwich Mean Time. India is 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. Okay. Ama kan soi to angkhanin 82 degree 30 minutes east is central meridian ani kan ti to ka Indian standard time po ka longitude base ala khi ani a kan ti a chuan world time hi prime meridian east le west omna atanga chhut ani a chuan he longitude hi Greenwich Mean Time ti in an po a chuan Indian standard time nen hianin darkar nga le achun ve na in thau ti na lo ni ta a entirnan Greenwich Mean Time 7 a.m. ani chuan Indian standard time chuan 12:30 p.m. ani don ti na lo ni chu. India has 29 states and 7 union territories. The area of the country is 3.28 million square kilometer. In size, India stands 7th in the world. Our land boundary extends for 15,200 kilometers and our coastline is about 7,516 kilometers. Okay. India ramahian kanshat pik angin state somdi pakwa le union territory pasari oma India ram sauzong hi 3.28 million square kilometer ni in Kovela ramlian ber pasari na ania chuanin land boundary kan nei zauzong hi 15,200 kilometer ni a coastline kan ti chuan tuipui kam kan nei zauzong hi 7,516 kilometer ani bokani. India forms the Indian continent along with a few neighboring countries like Pakistan and Afghanistan. In the northwestern side, China, Nepal and Bhutan in the north, while our eastern neighbors are Bangladesh and Myanmar. It shares its maritime boundaries with Sri Lanka and Maldives in the south. Okay. India ram hian neighboring countries kan nei te chu northwestern side hian Pakistan le Afghanistan ani a north lama mar lama China, Nepal le Bhutan an omboka tin eastern side hianin Bangladesh le Myanmar ram te an omboka kan chen omboka tin tuipui kam South India lama hian Sri Lanka le Maldives te ni kan chen omboka ni. India is a southward extension of the Asian continent. The Trans-Indian Ocean's routes, which connect the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of East Asia, provide a strategic central location of India. Okay. India's contact with the world have continued through the land routes are much older than her maritime contacts. These routes have contributed in the exchange of ideas and commodities since ancient times. The ideas of Upanishad and the Ramayana, the Indian numericals and the decimal system thus could reach many parts of the world. Okay. Spices, muslin and other merchandise were taken from India to different countries. Okay. India's trade during ancient and medieval periods was primarily through the sea routes. When the Portuguese first landed in India, they came via the tip of Africa or the Cape of Good Hope. It is important to note that the sea route to Europe has now been reduced by 7,000 kilometers since the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869. Ancient and medieval Hunlai Khanin India Khanin Ramdang European le East Asia kan titenen Khan Indian Ocean kalplangin bungruate kan in thon China amai ro chu Suez Canal an open no 1869 no lama kha chuanin Cape of Good Hope route lam ai khan Suez Canal kha Europe ram nena in sumdon ton na atang khan an mang tangkai meba arut thui zong apok kha he ta Cape of Good Hope route ai kha chuanin Suez Canal lama an kalkhan Europe ram kha kilometer sang sari nai khanin enge alo toy ta ka wang khanin Suez Canal kha in sumdon ton na Suez Canal route akha in sumdon ton na atang khanin India ram khan Europe ne in sumdon ton na atang khanin an mang na sa in sumdon pokha ol sampha emani. Thus we know that the location of India and its strong historical links with its neighbors have provided the country a central position in Asia. Okay. Khanin he chapter Russia thiam lo le zona in nei ni chuan englai puin min zo theyanga chuanin